You know what I have stuck in my head, babe?
Is it a Taylor Swift song?
Is it what?
Is it a Taylor Swift song?
It's not a Taylor Swift song.
We don't have the same thing stuck in our head.
What's stuck in your head?
Yes. It's the patriarchy keychains.
All too well.
Someone's just stuck in my
And
head
you
for like
were
3
tossing
days.
me car keys. You woke up to your toddler biting you. Oh no. Not good. We need half and half. We can get it. We go to Target later. And you were tossing me the car keys at the patriarchy keychain on the ground. You were always skipping town. That's what's stuck in your head?
That's not gonna help it not be stuck there.
No, it's not. Good morning, everyone else. Do you also all have Taylor Swift stuck in your head? Because secret boyfriend has Taylor Swift stuck in his head. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, everyone who does or does not have Taylor Swift stuck in their heads. Please sound off if you do or do not have Taylor Swift stuck in your head. Yes for yes, no for no. Who has Taylor Swift in their head this very morning? No, we are playing Christmas music and putting up fall decor. Yes! That's the way to do it, Tiffany. See? See? I was right. We do get to listen to Christmas music.
You don't start Christmas music until after college.
Well, yeah, but I would start now if they'd let me. I didn't, but now I do. I do now. Thanks. They're all saying, thank you for getting it stuck in their head.
See? That's what she does to me.
Oh! You were always given town. That's not what was stuck in my head, though. I had boys and girls of every age. Would you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see. This is our town of Halloween. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween. In this town. That's what I had in my head.
That's amazing.
What?
Can you sing that whole song?
Yeah, of course. In this town we call home. Everybody hail to the pumpkin cone. It's like that. Yeah. That's not usually what I so you're doing rocking around the Christmas tree. That's I can do that one. Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Everyone's dancing merrily. Nope, that's wrong. I skipped a whole bunch. Sorry. Let's try again. As Zoe would say, let's try again. Let's see. Yes, Christmas, 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 Christmas time is here. Time for joy and time for cheer. We've been good, but we can't wait. Hurry, Christmas. I don't think I did that right. Don't be like... I don't think I did that right, honey. Thank you, I appreciate that. People are passing by thinking, Christmas sweatshirt and Christmas music. This woman rocks. Yeah, it is a Christmas sweatshirt. I forgot. Look, I'm wearing my Christmas sweater.
Hey, look, it's a Grogo.
The Baby Yoda.
Grogo.
Oh.
Or Grogle, or whatever his name is.
I don't know. I got it at Kohl's last Christmas because I thought it was cute.
It is cute.
He's like, hello, it's Christmas. And I'm like, hello, it's coffee.
Do you think in the Star Wars galaxy they also had a Jesus that died for their sins?
I doubt it.
I mean, he was born on Christmas Day.
He wasn't even born on Christmas Day in our galaxy.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Babe, I made you coffee.
You did?
I did.
Thank you, babe.
Look at this. Look at this. Hey, Becca. Look at this. Look at that foam layer that's just hanging on there.
Pretty lucky.
That is stunning. That's stunning. This is for you. Look at that. Come on. Tell me that's not amazing.
She even made a leaf design in it.
What? Oh my gosh. It's
It
kind of
looks like a
designy,
leaf,
yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We usually sing the good morning, so oh, she didn't say good morning, she said a morning. Uh-oh, Becca must be going through it. She said a morning. Ruh-roh.
It is a morning. You're right.
Oh no. Should I sing you the good morning song? Would that make you feel better? Oh, you like my nails? Thank you. They're fun, right? If I sing the good morning song, will you feel better, Becca? You're so sick. Oh no. I don't have a sick song. Do you have a song that people sing to you when you're sick to make you feel better? Babe?
No, it's a cold, harsh world for me.
Oh no. What can I sing to make you feel better about your sick? You're sick too? Oh no. How about, I don't know that song. What is that? I'm unfamiliar with this song. What about like, I can't think of a good sick song.
Probably Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Is that good?
That was pretty good.
Okay.
Do you feel better now?
Do you feel better, Becca? I thought you sang it before. Maybe Smelly Cat will substitute. Smelly cat, what are they feeding you?
What is that?
It's from Friends, and you have to sing it off key. That's the whole thing.
Is that a Phoebe song?
It is a Phoebe song.
It seems like it would be.
It would be. Has Secret Boyfriend seen Big Bang Theory? Have you seen Big Bang Theory?
I mean, I know it exists, but I don't think I've ever seen an episode even.
He says no.
But weirdly, I can picture all the characters in it because it was on for so long that I think I just saw ads for it.
Yeah. I worked on a show that starred the guy who played Sheldon. Does that count? It was a play downtown, a one-man play. It was very good, I have to say, but not as good as Barrett Foe when he took over after he left.
Huh.
Was when he was little? No, not when he was little. It was in 2015, 14.
Was there a follow-up to the Big Bang Theory thing?
I don't know. What, he would love that show. It tracks with his humor. Apparently it tracks with your humor.
Oh no, that's not good.
It's not good?
That can't be good.
Can't be good.
It's not a sitcom on like basic TV.
Is it a sitcom on basic TV? All right, Becca, pick a song that will make you feel better, then we're going to do book club. You get one more shot at picking a song. This is your last chance to pick a feel better song. Judy Garland. Whoa. Well, we can sing the Good Morning song, that's fitting, and that's Judy. They're all genius level IQ. You're genius level IQ, babe.
We have not tested that one.
Fine. You want a different one? Do you want, how does the other one start? I mean, except Penny. I don't know who Penny is. We could sing, how does that song start? I can't even think of how that song starts. Weird. The song that she sings in Babes in Arms that is not Good Morning.
That's never, I don't know.
I know. That's why, because she said she picked a Judy Garland song for her to feel better. What Judy Garland song should I sing to make her feel better?
You want to get Spotify?
I don't need Spotify. I don't need no stinking Spotify. I'm Spotify. Everyone in this live right now is like, she's a lunatic is what she is.
I'm the Spotify. Look at me. I'm the Spotify.
I'm the Spotify now. Somewhere over the rainbow? Spotify and the map? Whoa, impressive. I am the map. I am the map.
You are?
Yeah.
Bad sense of direction?
No, at Disneyland.
Oh, you are. She is the map at Disneyland. It's true.
Yeah. Oh, no.
If you ever want to have a fun time at Disney and not have to think at all, just go with Sasha.
It was great.
She'll just just take you everywhere you need to go. You never have to look at a map or think. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. Afternoon book club for you. Oh yeah, it is a little late, but it's Saturday, you know. All right. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Do you feel better, Becca?
I feel better.
You feel better?
I wasn't even sick, but I feel better.
That's good. Well, that's a fun, haha, sick, tired, but happy surprises, tears in my eyes. Well, that's good. At least it's a happy tears. When Bernadette is in teenage pageant, she announces she's from my town. We all scream. Wait, who's Bernadette?
Bernadette Peters.
That's what I was thinking, but she's not in something called a teenage pageant, so I don't really know what that means. My husband asked why I was listening to the Wizard of Oz soundtrack. Oh, it's good. That means I did a good job. Oh my God, my daughter just asked me if the slime is singing. That's funny. I like it. These are good humorous moments. Someday I'll wish upon a star. Oh no! And wake up where the clouds are clear. My slime has a drippy. Behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, away above the chimney tops. Yeah. I know, I'm working on it, Tiffany. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. It doesn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight with the last one either. It took a month last time to get everything all decorated. Actually, a little more. It's a process and it's expensive. So I have to work first, earn the money, then get the stuff. Okay. So here we go. Hey, hello, Holly. So we are, oh yeah, it's just totally weird. Can you paint, or are you limited to what you can do? We could paint, but I'm choosing not to. I'm going to use some sticker, like wall cling stickers. I've been in my house since April and I still don't have decorated the way I want. Yeah, no, it's a process. It's definitely a process. What do you think's going on with my hair this morning? Okay, so let's read the book. In case you missed the last couple of days, we are reading Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot. Thank you, babe. You put peanut butter in it?
I did.
Yummy.
Peanut butter.
I'm very excited. I like peanut butter. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that she was happy to see her video. That's yummy, babe.
Very good. See you in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to read, this section is Jessica, and it does not have a date on it, which means it's present day. Into a carafe, mix chocolate with snow and salt. Stir together for some time. When mixed, eat with spoons. Lasting friendship will soon follow. Goody Fletcher, Book of Useful Household Tips. Good, how are you? Hi, Andrea. I'll be listening, but in and out while I make pumpkin spice latte cheesecake. That sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. I'm into it. Feel free to share with the class. I almost spilled my coffee. That would have been bad. By noon on Monday, I was sitting in the same high school guidance counselor office that I'd sat in more than a decade earlier. At least the new guidance counselor, whose title was now apparently Student Success Coach, was thanking me for showing up instead of me thanking her for taking the time out of her busy day to keep me from getting drowned by Rosalie Hopkins. You don't have any idea how hard it's been to get volunteers for this new mentoring program. Dr. Garcia was gushing. "We've been trying to get the word out, but people simply don't seem to be responding." Well, I couldn't help but stare at the poster hanging behind her head. With all the technological advancements in the past decade and a half, could they not have come up with some new motivational posters for counseling offices? This one was of a daffodil sprouting from the earth, and it urged me to bloom where you're planted. It was almost identical to the poster that Dr. Fields had up in her office. Ugh. Except this wasn't exactly what I had done by returning to my hometown after college and buying a home. Except wasn't this exactly what I had done by returning to my hometown after college and buying a home and a business here? Could it be that the inspirational messages on the posters in the guidance counselor's office at my high school had actually worked? "Everyone's so busy these days, I guess," I said, dragging my gaze from the poster, "especially with the tricentennial coming up." Yes, you're right." Dr. Garcia shook her head and then brightened. "But anyway, I think you and Esther are going to be a great match. I'm so glad Dr. D'Angelo thought of pairing you two." "Me too." Ha! Like any of this had been Sal's idea. In fact, when he'd seen me entering the administrative offices, he'd hurried away in the opposite direction. Not running. "Hey, Grace!" No, we're just barely one page in. Not running exactly, but moving as quickly as a man his size could without breaking into a sprint. But the paperwork for my mentorship with Esther had been approved and was waiting at the front desk, so I couldn't really be mad at him. "Now, don't be discouraged if Esther seems a little on the shy side," Dr. Garcia warned me. "She's not exactly an extrovert like you, Jessica. But I think once you break the ice, you'll find that she's a deeply intelligent and intellectually curious girl. Not exactly a joiner, but very willing to learn. If you can just get her to open up a little." "Great!" I clutched my bag, the largest tote I owned, into which I'd stuffed my secret weapon, a plastic container full of sweet baked goods that Dinah had spent Sunday afternoon whipping up for this occasion. It was devious. It was underhanded. But it was exactly what any good cottage witch would do and what I needed if I was going to save West Harbor and get rid of Derek Winters and his distractingly silver eyes. Now, I'm not sure exactly what period Esther has next. Dr. Garcia turned toward her desktop. "Lunch, I think." I feigned ignorance. "It's noon, so..." Oh my gosh, that's crazy, Rosie. That would freak me out. The student success coach seemed surprised when her computer monitor confirmed the news. "Oh, yes, well, look at that. You're right. Esther does have lunch now. Although, I don't know how you're going to find her." "Oh," I said, raising confidently from my chair. "I'll manage. I used to go here after all." Dr. Garcia smiled. "That's right. Well, don't forget to wear your..." I waved the security badge that hung from a lanyard around my neck as I backed out of her office. "I've got it." "Oh." The phone on Dr. Garcia's desk began to ring. She glanced at it distractedly. "Oh dear, the senior parents this year. They're so demanding." I waved as she picked up her phone and then mouthed, pointing at her cardigan, which I'd ordered just for her. "It looks so good." "Thank you," she mouthed back. And then I shouldered my tote bag and set off. One thing I'd forgotten in the years since I graduated from high school was just how young teenagers really were. Had I really ever been this small, this fresh-faced, this awkward, this anxious? Since I couldn't bring myself to look at my diaries from when I was in high school, that probably answered all the questions. That and the way that my palms got clammy just reaching to pull the door of the cafeteria open. The kids who came into my shop to try on my clothes were often giggly and occasionally even shrill in their excitement when I helped them find the perfect gift or accessory. But the wall of sound that hit me as I entered the cafeteria of West Harbor High was 1,000 times louder than that, because it was joined by the clank of silverware hitting plastic meal trays, the thunder and squeak of rubber-soled athletic shoes against the tile flooring, and, as well, a cacophony of teenage voices, all trying to be heard over the sound of video games that they were playing on their cell phones. That, plus the sight of the hokey Halloween decorations on the wall and the overwhelming smell of industry-strength cleaner and burnt pizza, brought me right back to the mid-2000s. Thank God I had Dinah and Mark, and yes, even Goody Fletcher's book to help me through my teenage years. Otherwise, I might have ended up like a small, forlorn figure I'm immediately spotting sitting by herself beneath the emo dome. Esther. I'd have known her anywhere, not just because Derek had given me her photo, and she was the only African-American girl in glasses under the dome, but also because she was wearing a black zippered sweatshirt over her school sweater vest, black Converse high tops beneath her uniform khakis, and was intently reading an actual book with what looked like a homemade black knitted book cover over it. The jury was still out on whether or not she was a witch, but she certainly had the look down. Esther? With all the anarchy around us, the girl hadn't noticed me approach. She glanced up from her book at the sound of her name, her eyes wide. Yes? Hi, I'm Jessica Gold. I slid onto the bench across from her. The tables in the cafeteria must have gotten a lot smaller than they used to be, because it seemed like a tighter fit than the last time I'd eaten there. I'm your mentor from the Reach for the Sky locals, helping locals reach their goals. I own Enchantments, the clothing boutique over on Post Road. The girl continued to stare at me unsmilingly. All around us, chaos reigned. Down the table, a group of boys were screaming in excitement as one of them won a game he was playing on his cell phone. The number of four-letter words the boy used to celebrate this victory was astonishing, even to me, and I enjoyed a good swear word. Esther seemed oblivious to the din. Right, she said finally, and gave one of the protective braids into which she twisted her long, dark hair a flick, so it settled behind her shoulder with the others. Dr. Garcia told me you'd be coming by. Yes, I gave her a big smile. She was prettier in person than she'd been in her picture, with strikingly large eyes and a pouty mouth. She was so slim, a good breeze off the sun might have blown her away. Probably, I noted, because she wasn't eating properly. Did you not get lunch? I asked, realizing there was nothing in front of her. No tray, no sandwich container, not even a bag of chips, only a refillable metal water bottle. Aren't you hungry? You weren't waiting to eat until I got here, were you? She gave me a tiny polite smile. No, I don't normally eat lunch. Oh, you have to eat lunch. It's the second most important meal of the day, after breakfast. Is it? Her eyebrow raised skeptically. It absolutely is. I tried not to allow myself to be distracted by the fact that the gamers down the table were now sitting on the actual tabletop and thumping their feet excitedly against the bench I was sitting on every time they scored. Your brain can't retain everything it's learning in school if you're not eating enough. Did you know that it burns more carbs thinking than it does to work out? It does? Well, okay, maybe not while working out, but definitely while doing like math and stuff as opposed to vegging out in front of the TV. I turned my tote bag and began rifling through it. Here, I brought you some brownies, homemade by my friend Dinah. She's an amazing baker. As a fellow cottage witch, Dinah was also aware, as I was, that cocoa, butter, and sugar promote feelings of peace and harmony, both of which came in handy when trying to make friends with a possible teen witch. For the first time, Esther actually looked interested in something I was saying. She leaned forward so that she could see into my tote. Are they vegan brownies by any chance? She asked. Because I'm vegan. I winced. Ugh, no. Sorry. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to just try one. Esther shrugged her slim shoulders as I pried the lid off the container and the scent of fudgy brownie filling the air. Here you go. Help yourself. Thanks. Esther selected one of the smaller brownies and bit into it delicately. A second or two later, her face transformed from merely pretty to outright beautiful as she smiled. A genuine smile this time, not one of politeness. Wow, this is really good. Was it? Was this the light? Had I implanted it merely with my presence and Dinah's good baking? But no, it didn't appear so. Butter, cocoa, and sugar were merely making her happy. Thanks. So your parents own the West Harbor Brewport? She nodded, concentrating on the flavors in her mouth. Mm-hmm. That's great. I go there a lot. I belong to a team that competes on Tuesday night trivia. Her smile turned to a light again. Oh? The median age of attendees at Brewport's trivia night was 35, so I could see how this information was not exactly impressive. My mom and dad want me to start hostessing there. They want me to come out of my shell, as they call it. She made air quotes with her fingers. Also learn how to manage my money and develop a strong work ethic, which I think I already have, but whatever. Oh, really? I pointed at the book in front of her. You look like a hard worker to me. Are you doing homework at lunchtime? Oh, this isn't homework. Esther's surprising reply. She'd finished her first brownie and was now digging into the plastic container for a second, larger piece, her veganism apparently forgotten for the moment. It's a book I'm reading for fun. Did you know that the first citizens of America ever to be tried and hanged for witchcraft was a woman in Hartford, Connecticut, and it happened to be 1647? That's almost 50 years before the Salem witch trials. I stared at her. I did know that. Hadn't Sal and Dr. Garcia said this girl was shy? She didn't seem shy to me. Also, had she just said witchcraft? She was reading a book on witchcraft for fun? Had the light been implanted when I wasn't looking? Are they teaching that in U.S. history now? Because they sure didn't teach that when I was in high school. Esther snorted. Oh, please. I only know because I saw something about it in the tricentennial celebration stuff. A ton of women were accused of witchcraft right here in West Harbor, or rather, the settlement that would go on to become West Harbor in the 1700s. Oh. Of course, Rosalie was the head of the Tricentennial Committee. She would have made sure that that information about her witchy great-great-grandmother got out. I see. I thought it was so interesting. I went and asked the librarian at the school library if there were any books about it, and she found this for me. She peeled back the book's cover so that I could see the title. A History of Witch Trials in Western Europe and the United States in 1500 to 1700. And how are you liking it? I asked, ridiculously nervous about her reply. Esther took a swig from her water bottle and shrugged again. I don't know. It's obviously pretty upsetting. So many of the people who were accused of witchcraft in those days were just women who inherited wealth, their property from their husbands, and when they didn't want to remarry or sell their property to certain men, bang, they were found guilty of fraternizing with the devil, hanged, and that property suddenly went to their neighbors. Pretty convenient, don't you think? I nodded and broke off a piece of one of the brownies in the container and shoved it in my mouth to keep myself from saying the wrong thing in reply. And some of the other accused, Esther went on, having gotten a good head of steam going, were just people other villages had it out for. Midwives who'd had a baby die on them through no fault of their own, or a poor woman who spoke ill of rich men in charge. The whole thing is simply misogyny. One woman got accused because her neighbor saw her dancing under a tree after a couple glasses of wine. Can you imagine? Thinking of Rosalie, who would definitely complain if she saw her neighbor dancing tipsily under a tree, I only said, I could, actually. And here's what gets me. People, especially women, are still being accused of witchcraft today, all around the world. We need to set an example that persecuting women for their beliefs is wrong. Massachusetts has officially exonerated everyone who was accused of witchcraft in Salem, and that needs to be done everywhere. Oh my God, this was it. This had to be it. The light had been implanted by education. All I had to do was show up with brownies and listen. Yeah, maybe that's something that I could help you with, I suggested. What do you mean, like go into politics? Well, no, not that exactly. I was really floundering here. There had to be some way that I could find out if Esther was the bringer of light before the bell rang and she had to return to class. Why hadn't Derek given me more information about just what exactly I needed to do in order to determine whether or not this girl was right for the job of saving West Harbor? What about writing? I punted since I couldn't bring myself to say the words, "Do you believe in magic?" to her. Journalism, is that something you want to go into or maybe study in college? Or journalism? Esther made a face. No. What I really love is science. I'm thinking about majoring in psychology. There's a mental health crisis in this country. The demand for psychologists is off the charts, as you can probably tell. She sent a menacing look in the direction of the boys. Braden over there is a prime example of a kid who needs dialectical behavior therapy. That was not at all what I was expecting to hear from a 16-year-old. Granted, I don't normally hang around 16-year-olds except to pass them items they want to try on through the dressing room curtain at my shop. Still, I was pretty sure this was exactly the kind of thing the bringer of light would say. And even if this kid wasn't the savior of West Harbor, I was surprised to find that I liked her enough that I actually did want to be her mentor, her academic mentor, not her witch mentor, although both would be fine with me. That sounds amazing, I said, and then added, you know, working in fashion retail can be a little bit like being a therapist in some ways. People need a lot of positive reinforcement and reassurance when trying on new clothes. Esther smiled at me through a third brownie. My best friend Gabriella loves your store. She's always in there buying stuff like those lounge pants you sell, the tie ones in the front with the different prints, the ones that you're wearing now. Oh, the bamboo loungers, I nodded, feeling even more buoyed. I was glad Esther had a best friend, and of course I loved it when anyone said anything positive to me about the shop. I hoped Becca was having an okay time running it without me. But it was a Monday morning after a weekend sale when things were usually slow, so she'd probably be fine. Yeah, they're very popular. So soft, flowy, romantic. Yeah, Esther said. Well, Gabby's a Pisces, so she loves anything flowy and romantic. I paused as I reached for another brownie. You like astrology? I love it, Esther said. Of course, astrology is a pseudoscience, but I find that a person's star sign can often be surprisingly accurate about many of their character traits. I was already trying to figure out how I was going to report this to Derek. He didn't exactly strike me as someone who put a whole lot of faith in star signs. Well, I said, I don't know if you can definitely... Like you, Esther was polishing off her fourth brownie, and they were pretty big brownies too. Aquarius, right? I stared at her. How did you... It's pretty obvious. You've got the flowy romantic thing going on with how you dress, just like Gabs, but you're reserved until you get to know someone. Then you're warm and friendly, so you have to be an Aquarius on the cusp of Pisces. A Valentine's Day baby, maybe? At the sight of my stunned expression, she nodded. Yeah, that makes sense, because you definitely seem like a creative type. Oh, romantic, even though you've been a bit disappointed by love, haven't you? I stared at her harder. I might have even been goggling at her. How? It hasn't made you bitter, though, she said hastily, mistaking my wonder for disapproval. You believe in love. You just think it's totally better to be alone than with the wrong person, which is so totally Aquarian. So I get it. No point in wasting time on bad company. Oh, and you're a witch, right? But a good witch, or at least you try to be. She shoveled the largest bit of brownie into her mouth. I gaped at her. How did you... She took her time chewing and swallowing. Well, the witch part was easy. She pointed to the pendant that I forgot I was wearing around my neck. You, I stammered, touching it. You've heard of Gaia? Sure, hasn't everybody? She's like Mother Nature, right? Yes, but the rest of it, how... Then, as the table we were sitting at shook because Brayden won the game he'd been playing and was stomping around on top of it in triumph, Esther banged her water bottle down and shouted, Brayden! What have I told you about putting your feet on the table? Get down. On the word down, the cafeteria we were sitting in gave a mighty wobble, only this time it wasn't because of anyone stomping on the table. It was as if a massive hand reached down, grasped the end of the table where the boys were sitting, lifted it a few inches in the air, and shook it. Only there was no one at the other end of the table lifting it to shake it. And when the shaking stopped as abruptly as it started, an ashen-faced Brayden climbed down meekly from the tabletop and mumbled his apology to Esther. Sorry, he said, bowing his head as if to a queen. My bad, bro. Esther rolled her eyes tolerantly. I'm not your bro. I mean, Esther, he said. Esther glanced back at me and grimaced apologetically. Brayden can't help it. He's an Aries with ADHD. I gazed in awe at the teenage girl sitting across from me as she dug into the last brownie. How did you do that? I demanded breathlessly. I hadn't seen a display of magic that powerful since, well, Rosalie. I don't know. She gave another shrug and sipped from her water bottle. It's just the thing that I've always been able to do. Gabby says I've got the gift. I don't know if that's true, whatever it is, but I figure it will come in handy when I go to college. Keep the frat boys in place and all. Probably, Grace, or is it something you've had for a long time and it's just worn out, maybe? It was fortunate that the bell rang just then, because I was too shocked to say anything more. I knew, found West Harbor's bringer of light. Well, I better get to class. It's your Mally Mallow, but have you played with it a lot? It could have just worn out. But you have extra scent, right? You should just put scent in it and see if that helps. Can you smell the scent in the bottle? Can you smell other scents right now, Grace? Oh. Aww. Smell some coffee beans and then try? She scooped up her backpack, her water bottle. Wait. Esther said, scooping up her book. Well, I better get to class, Esther said, scooping up her book, water bottle, and enormous black backpack. She looked at me curiously, probably because I was just sitting there stunned in silence. But this was nice. We should do it again sometime. Her eyes widened. That seems, yes, I roused myself. We should do it, tomorrow? Her eyes widened. That seems a bit soon, but I guess if it fits your schedule, it does. Oh, well, I do want to go to NYU to have the urban experience, but my parents say that that place is stupid expensive, so I could really use this scholarship money. Great, I said, and I quickly pulled my cell phone out and something else from my bag. Let's exchange numbers, and then we can figure out a time to meet again. Oh, she could not have looked less enthused. Okay, yeah, sure. It happened so quickly I didn't notice. As she was typing, I slipped the amethyst stone from my necklace into the side pocket of her backpack. After everything that had happened with Billy, I'd sworn to myself that I'd never use magic on someone without their permission again. But this was different. This was trying to protect someone. Did I feel bad that I was lying to a child? No. If Derek was right and a catastrophe was coming to West Harbor, it would be worth it. Besides, we lie to children all the time about things like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, and then we get older, we tell them other lies that there's no such thing as magic. What I was doing seemed mild in comparison, especially considering the magic I just witnessed Esther use with my own eyes. After Esther thanked me politely for my time and the brownies, she headed back to class, and I noticed the boys following her, murmuring amongst themselves in what felt like a semi-worshipful manner. Surprisingly, Brayden in particular looked smitten. My God, had Esther been sitting alone because Esther hadn't been sitting alone because she had no friends. She'd been sitting alone because she wanted some time to herself. Esther was a teenage witch queen. I packed up Dinah's now empty brownie container and then looked down at my phone and texted Derek. Hey, it's Jess. Met with Esther. Pretty sure she's our bringer of light. When/where do you want to meet to talk about it / plan next steps? Let me know. I put my phone away, shouldered my bag, and headed towards the closest exit, which fortunately led straight out into the lot where my car was parked. Since I could see through the skylight overhead that looked like rain, which was odd because the sky had been bright and cloudlessly blue when I walked into the school. Anyway, then, just as I was about to reach the exit, my gaze fell on a folding table set up near the soda machines with a sign hanging from it that screamed, "Sign up here for the chance to be West Harbor Harvest Princess. Get scholarship money for helping the hometown celebrate its tricentennial." I'd never heard of Harvest Princess before, but I was so shocked at the regressive anti-feminist sound of it that it took me a few seconds to notice the slim woman in a pale pink sweater set and tweed slacks standing behind the table staring at me, hatred in her cold ice blue eyes. Of course. Who else? Rosalie Hopkins. Even worse, beside her stood a tall, broad-shouldered man in a crew-neck sweater and khakis, looking everywhere but at my face. Billy Walker. Dun, dun, dun. Well, that's wild. What a chapter. We're just going to do the one today because I have a metric ton of things to do today, but I will be live later making slime. We're definitely going to make a new batch of Grace Lightning and who knows what else. I got to go to the store and get more glue first, which is one of the errands I have to run today. But we're going to make a lot of slime today for Halloween stuff. Why do we end on such cliffhangers? I know. Yeah, maybe make the new cereal. We can make Serial Killer. They would. I'm not the host. That's funny. I can kind of smell one of my marshmallow slime, so I'll take it. Oh. Yeah, apparently, maybe my orange beads have been delivered, I think, possibly, so we might be able to make candy corn, although I think I need to order more scent. When is the next restock? October 2nd. Yeah. So we'll be making stuff for that today. I'm going to be posting a video with the info about the restock shortly, and then that's pretty much the whole shebang. So I'll be on this afternoon / evening for sure, probably around 4 or 5-ish, and we'll make slime. So that'll be that. I'll see you guys later.